photoshoots and the gossip columns that they so frequently grace. Well, welcome Rosanna Davidson and Katy French to tell us all this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And the reason we asked you in this morning was basically because the two of you have been gracing the papers for the last couple of weeks, like pages and pages and pages of it. Katy, can I start with you? You broke up with your boyfriend.
Yeah.
How did that make front page news?
I don't know. I think maybe because the incident that actually spurred the breakup possibly happened in front of journalists and a newspaper crew. So I'm sure that was the start of it, really. And then how it spiraled on from there, I just, you know, I have no idea. I suppose because of all the elements of the soap opera.
Did you help to spiral it? Did Marcus help to spiral it?
I wanted to keep it under wraps, hopefully, but I mean, it just didn't happen that way. So when things start going, I mean, obviously you do answer some questions, but it just, I mean, I couldn't have even imagined the amount of column space that it did get. Never in a million years I thought that.
And how did you feel about it?
It's about the breakup or about the newspaper?
No, well, I mean, the breakup's a private thing, and that's what I'm trying to allude to. That, like, the breakup is a private thing, and what you, even though you're a model, and like I didn't know Marcus. I never heard of Marcus before the newspaper thing. A lot of people may not have known you before this, but they certainly do now.
I know. It was hard. I mean, I suppose for me, I kind of kept the two things fairly separate. I suppose I had to deal with my own emotions, psychological effect of the actual breakup, never mind the newspapers, but then just reading about it that's hard. I mean, it kind of exhausted me a bit and took a lot out of me.
And what about the text issues? How did that get into the newspaper?
Yeah, I have no idea about that, but it did. And they rang me, I confirmed it, they were true, and they went ahead, and that was, I mean, it was hard enough getting them, let alone the rest of the country reading about it.
I suppose when you're in the public limelight like you are as a model, and maybe people know your face, but they don't necessarily know Katy as Katy. No. I mean, is there some part of you that sort of likes the publicity and that likes the element of it?
Not the publicity that's going on at the moment, no. I wouldn't say I like that. You're kind of in a compromising position where being a model in this country, it is your job. You do a lot of press, we do photo calls together. So in many ways you do have a certain relationship with the newspapers, with the press. And when something like this happens, there's a fine line between the balance on how far does it go.
Yeah.
And Rosanna, I suppose you're the same because...
Well, we can relate to each other in that our breakups, mine was last year, were, you know, public news, they were public property. In my case, somebody delved, probably illegally, into my personal emails and sold them to papers, and they...
With you, Katy, you'd have to say that your profile has gone up and you're probably getting more work now than you ever did.
Yeah, it's true. I think the press has gone down that route, though.
Yeah, it's the voyeuristic element as well. It's people wanting to look into people's personal lives. There's obviously a niche in the market for it. You know, we don't like when it oversteps the line, as we said.
Yeah,
it reflects on us badly. Yeah. And we're not the people that we are made out to be. Obviously, there's a dramatism and there's a theatrical element to the news.
Okay, can I just get... We've got loads of texts in, like people are saying, I'm sick looking at Rosanna and Katy and Glenda. Every time I open a newspaper, repeated stupid stories. That's from Audrey in Walkinstown. These are lovely girls and should respect their own private lives, which you probably do. Rosanna, I used to respect you and thought you were a wonderful role model, but your behaviour in the papers has completely changed my opinion of you.
Well, I mean, as I said, it's been over-dramatised. I haven't changed one bit. I've, maybe loosened up a bit.
I think we have to live our lives, though, as well as...
We have to live our lives as well as dealing with it.
Doing the job we do.
And Dublin is so small that when you try and live your life, it's sort of, you have to live it in.
You have to find stories every day. I mean, it's obviously been a slow news year.
And Katy, what's the story with Marcus? Then the latest pictures were that you were hand in hand and done. How was there a photographer just wandering around Dundrum shopping centre?
Initially, I did think it was a setup. Apparently, there was a journalist there that made a phone call in. I mean, I'd met him. We'd lived together 2 years. So you do have things to sort out after 2 years. Right. But I was in shock when I found out.
And are you back together? We're not?
No, it's not
Okay.
going to happen.
All right. Well, look, a continued success to both in your careers. They're on the rise, if anything, and the best of luck to both of you. Thanks for
very
coming in
much.
this morning.